Cool.
Hi, Rocky. Can you hear me okay?
I can.
Well, great goal tonight. Why don't you just start us off with your thoughts on the goal in the match?
Oh, oh man. I it's hard to talk about the match after yeah, I mean we started winning, but we know that that means nothing. In the NWSL and against Houston, we knew that we had to take our chances. The second half, I feel like we lost a lot of our identity as a team. And I think, yeah, that was reflected. And, we tried fighting back always. I think the fight is there, the grit is there, but yeah, we will watch and learn from it and go on for the next one.
All right, we will open it up to questions and start off with Ryan Clark. Ryan, we can't hear you. Ryan, I think you're having some audio issues. Do you want to try something else? Or we can circle back to you. Does anyone else have a question for Rocky? All right, we'll go to Fuquin.
Hey, Rocky, can you talk to us about the conditions? Because obviously, we saw the forecast and the humidity, and how much did that affect the play in the second half?
Yeah, I mean, we always know that coming to Houston, the weather is a factor to consider. But I mean, that also affects both teams. I mean, you can argue that Houston plays here, so they're used to it. But we prepare to, for it all, and it's obviously a factor that we take into consideration. But it's we've come here before and we've won games, and that's just something that we consider. But to answer your question, yes, it comes into play. But I mean, I think more importantly is just, again, like we got flustered. We were making mistakes that we usually don't. And I think Houston took advantage of that. In this league, that's what happened. So, more than the weather, it was more things that were in our control that as a team, I think we will get better at.
And then, how does the team kind of get the first half form back for the game against Chicago next week?
Can you repeat the question? Sorry.
Yeah, sorry about that. How does the team obviously the team dominated in the first half. How does the team kind of get that form back for the game against Chicago next week?
No, it's the same thing. Like we go back, we watch the game, we analyze. Right now, everything's too fresh. Right now, there's a lot of thoughts and emotions are high. So it's the same routine after every weekend. We go back, we rest, we evaluate, we gather together, and get back to working. So it's the routine does not change. We go back, we do the same things over and over with the hope that we build and get better.
All right, Ryan's question was just about the knock you took in the game and what the nature of the injury was and if you're okay.
Yeah, the knock was a little, I mean, I don't know exactly what happened. We will get to know. It was enough of a hit to get me out. So, yeah, we'll just find out what it is, and hopefully it's nothing too serious.
All right, next we'll go to Taylor Vincent.
Yes, thanks for chatting with us. I know loss never feels good, but the fact that it's the week 7 and then you only have your first loss now. How do you kind of not dig too deep into the fact that you guys lost a game considering how long this season is?
Yeah, exactly. I think, like I said, that's why I try to stay as I try not to give too much opinion right after a game because emotions are high. Like you said, nobody likes to lose, and right now, if it feels terrible and it feels really unsatisfying, especially because the performance wasn't the best, and we know that. But at the same time, that's why we go back, whether we win or lose, we go back to our routine. It is true in the grand scheme of things, like we're only starting season, well, we're towards more getting to the middle, but we know how the NWSL standings change. So yeah, we are still in it. We're still in it.
And then do you think there's like, what positives do you think the team could take from this? I know that it's a loss, so there's clearly that's the big kind of negative you have, but do you think there's any positives that the team can kind of take from this?
I think there's always positives. I think there's always positives right now. You know, one that I can always look into is we always fight. I mean, you know, we always fight. We always run until the last minute, and you know, it's really hard when you're in the field and things are not going well. But I know that this team has that resilience, that grit, and it's shown in other games too. Unfortunately, today just didn't quite, we couldn't tie, at least. We couldn't win, we couldn't tie. But I think that's important to keep, because that's another thing that we could lose, but we have not lost it yet, and we won't. So I think that's always we'll go back to that positive. In regards to the game, like I said, I don't like to say much because right now it's all emotions and vague memories, or maybe too fresh.
Yep. Thank you.
All right, we are gonna wrap it there. Thank you for your time, Rocky, and safe travels home.
Thank you.
Hi, Sam. Thanks for joining us.
Yep, sure.
Do you want to start us off with just your thoughts and feelings on tonight's match?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty obvious, like we're very frustrated. That wasn't our standard. I don't think we played like Thorns soccer tonight. I think our first half was pretty good. The start of the second half was decent as well, but I think we were tense, we weren't ourselves. And yeah, obviously very frustrated with the result. I think the last few have not been what we wanted. We're a team that really prides ourselves on dominance and not conceding any goals. And yeah, we're not meeting our standard right now. And we obviously just need to reflect and learn from this and use it to get better. But obviously the group is pissed, to say the least.
All right, we'll start questions off with Paul Danzer.
Hey Sam, how much of the second half was Houston adjusting and kind of becoming more assertive, and how much was you guys?
I mean, yeah, sorry, were you done with your question?
Yes.
Yeah, I think obviously like we have to credit Houston. They played a good game. They were assertive. They were on the front foot. They scored 2 good goals. But I think, we always reflect on us and what we are doing or failing to do. And I think, we weren't playing the style of soccer that we want to play. I think we became very internal and tense, and we lost ourselves and our game plan and what we came here to do. So yeah, I mean, it's no credit taken away from Houston. They played a really good game. But at the end of the day, like our focus is the Thorns and what we aren't doing. And yeah, I think we got in our own way in some aspects tonight. But yeah, we obviously left it all out there. That's all we can control. But I think this is a big learning opportunity for us, but definitely not our standard, and we're not happy with it.
How much of a factor were the conditions?
Yeah, I mean, it was hot. We had a pretty brutal week of training as well, just on some unideal conditions. I'll say that. It was a hot evening, but we could pick, a million different things to use as a reason that we didn't get the job done tonight. And I'm not saying that they're to be ignored. But yeah, at the end of the day, we didn't do what we came here to do. And that's not who we are. That's not our standard, and it's not okay.
You said you got away from Thorn soccer, but the first half, it looked like you were playing Thorn soccer and moving without the ball and one-touch soccer, and then that disappeared in the second half a little bit. Can you expand on that maybe?
Yeah, I think we were moving the ball quite well in the first half. We were a little bit I think, lazy at times off the ball, and just in terms of our movement and availability to just be an option for one another. I can't say that like I can label a moment or something where we stopped doing that. But again, I think kind of as the game progressed, as they equalized, I think we just got in our own way in some aspects, and we just kind of made our lives harder. And we lost, I think, just our identity. We started, being really direct, which isn't always a bad thing, but we kind of lost what our game plan was. And, we're going to be in these situations where teams are going to play the game of their life against us. We have to be ready for everything, but this isn't us. We're not a team that hangs on by a thread or equalizes at the last minute. Like, we are a dominant team, and we need to use this to get back to that.
Thanks, Sam.
All right, this question is from Ryan Clark. He asked, what is the energy like in the locker room given some of the recent struggles?
Yeah, I think we're frustrated. Like, that's no surprise. People are like, this team is so excellent, and each individual on our team, like, I can't even describe how personally they take it. The back line, myself, like the goals scored, like that is individually, we all feel that and take that very, very seriously. We're not a team that loses or ties a game and has a smile on our face. Even, our recent results against Angel City, North Carolina, we scrapped for those ties, but those games weren't good enough. We weren't happy with that. That's not who we are. So I would say, we are a team in every sense of the word. I would say that we are going to come together after this, and because of this, and use it to get better. But of course, we are frustrated, and we are well aware that, this is not who we are. And I think we're faced with the decision now, though, with what to do with it. I think we could kind of go internal and point fingers and be, just wallow in the frustration, or we can use it as an opportunity, and a chance for us to get better and become a stronger team, become a more dominant team. We are no stranger to adversity at all. And so this is just another bout with it. And we have to use it, and we have to move forward with it. And I have full faith that we're going to do that.
Okay, we are going to wrap it there. Thank you for your time, Sam, and safe travels home.
Thank you, guys.
We have head coach Meg Norris up next. Hi, Mike. Thanks for joining us. Go ahead and just start us off with your thoughts on tonight's match.
Bitterly disappointed. To throw away a 1-0 lead. It's a tough one. Strong forward, but disappointed would sum it up in short.
All right, we will open it up to questions. First, we have a written one from Ryan Clark. He asked, can you speak to the timing of getting Sink ready to come on after Rocky's injury? It seemed like there was 10 players on the field for Houston. Could they have brought her on immediately?
There was 10 players. I think that's something we need to review as a staff for sure. Felt like it was a long time when I was on the sideline, but in terms of how we get a player ready to get on the field and give them the exposure. So it's definitely something we're going to have to review as a staff to see how we can get that quicker, if we can get it quicker, if there was delays, why. So disappointing.
Another written question from Ryan. What can you point to in terms of the team's issues defending in spaces?
Defending spaces. Listen, I think we caused ourselves probably defending issues second half. bit loose on the ball. Obviously, we're in a bit of a run where we seem to be lacking confidence, lacking belief. So yeah, I think it's how I take that and start to work on how do I build more belief and confidence in the players. But I felt we had a good first half. We found some really good pockets of space that we had anticipated that might be on. Create some good opportunities, and then yeah, we struggled to get going second half, and we just couldn't get ourselves out of that. So yeah, something to review, and yeah, I think there's still some individual defending errors that's costing them, but I just think we need to be cleaner on the ball to help with the defending issues.
Then can you speak to Olivia's performance tonight in her recent form?
Yeah, asked her to play in a different role tonight. That was based on the spaces that we anticipated to be on in terms of getting a bit more of a midfield type, and then Olivia's creativity that we've seen recently. Felt that worked first half well. Yeah, then obviously just where the game was at, just felt it was right to bring Izzy on and start like push more if you like, and try and get more of a goal, like a natural goal scoring forward on there.
All right, do we have any other questions for Coach? Okay, then we will wrap it there. Thank you for your time and safe travels home.
Thanks, Joe.